Hey everybody, it's Becca Switzer with Roof Sales Mastery, author of Diamonds in the Sky. And I was actually just having a conversation about managing people who work for you. And if you aren't skilled in setting boundaries for yourself and also commanding respect so that people follow your instructions and you don't get too buddy-buddy, you can fall into a trap of either side of the spectrum, which is on one hand, you could fall into we're too buddy-buddy and they're not really taking me super seriously and they're not really respecting my authority like they need to be as a manager or as a superior or higher up or whatever. Or if you're too slave drivery, that really diminishes your likability to them, right? And we always say it's better to be well respected than to be well liked, but the best companies operate because the owners, operators, and managers are well liked and respected, right? We want to strike those balances. So I wanted to talk about just a couple of techniques that can help you be a better manager and protect your time. And some of those things, as well as I actually made a video recently about maintaining control of the conversation when you're doing a sales pitch with a customer. And you kind of have to do the same thing. You need to maintain and direct the control of the culture between you and the people that you have working for you by constantly being the one that's assertive. If things ever get too slow and open and willy-nilly, you're losing control of the culture and people are getting too comfortable with you. And sometimes we feel like that's a good thing, like, oh, we're developing these positive relationships, but a very little amount of that goes a long way. Too much of it and you start to lose control of the culture of your company. So one of the first things that I can recommend is not always being wildly available to the people who work for you. If you're constantly answering the phone, like you've got 5 people who work for you and they each call you 2, 3, 4 times a day at different times, they don't respect your time. And not because they're being dicks about it, but you're always available. You've made this the reality for them. And so one thing that can really help you is if you know that somebody's going to need to call you or, salespeople or production managers, whatever. Yes, that time is important and we do want to talk to them, but you can tell them, set boundaries and say, hey, we're going to meet every morning on the phone at 9 a.m. for 5 or 10 minutes each. And we're going to line you out for the day. Here's what I expect from you. Here's what needs to get done. And then we'll talk again at 4 o'clock to see how everything went. And if you need anything, just make a note of it. And then we'll talk at 4. Those hours in between, I'm just not available. I'm going to be doing different things, working on other priorities. And stick to it. Don't answer the phone, right? Like if they call you, don't answer the phone. Trust me, if it's a wild emergency, they're going to text you or call you to leave a voicemail. But you need to respect your own time and set boundaries and just structures for when you're available to talk. And the other thing is just making sure that you are providing people with the information they need. Maybe this means writing it down. Maybe it means sending an email or typing in Slack and just saying, here's exactly what needs to happen today so that you aren't leaving loose ends and people are constantly calling you. Okay. So you want to make people feel good, make them feel productive, make them feel purposeful, but you don't want to fall into the trap also of just being buddy-buddy with them. And that's a hard balance to strike. I think everybody can struggle with that a little bit, but the first thing is never be a dick, right? That's the first way to make sure that you're likable, but always just be a good leader. A good leader is firm, clear, gives clear directions, they're assertive, and it makes it easy for people to follow them and take directions from them. So those are just some quick tips. Of course, I really would encourage you, if you haven't already, to invest in the Sales Team Management Program, which is one of my Roof Sales Mastery programs. And that is what I built for sales managers to actually drive sales, run sales meetings, have one-on-ones with salespeople, hold people accountable, keep them motivated, keep them inspired, keep them moving. So check that out if you haven't already. It's a great course that your sales manager can implement and just help you be better managers, because a lot of people struggle with that. So as always, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the bell so you get the notifications every time I drop new content, and drop a comment if you have any tips for how you've learned how to be a better manager or leader. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. I appreciate you. I'll catch you later. Bye.